Peace to the family. Yes, indeed. Peace, love, and light. All right. You are now rocking with the best. This is Know the Ledge Radio, Know the Ledge Media for that, Know the Ledge TV for that matter. And
Peace.
this is Third Eye Thursday, episode 15. All right, featuring your brothers Red and Blue Pill. Part 2 of tonight's episode. I'm gonna be getting into a primer. It's called 44-4 Decoded. Not 444, but flipping it. 44-4 Decoded. All right. It's been the obligatory 72 hours has passed. So we're going to be delving into some of this situation, utilizing a cosmological, numerological lens. All right. Just to take a little deeper look into the situation. It still has people's attention, still got the streets talking. And that would be the untimely demise of our brother Nipsey Hussle. All right. So I'm going to give y'all a chance, everybody, to get in the building. You know, get situated, get yourselves relaxed, put the word out, and let them know that you are rocking with the best. Yes, indeed. For those that were inquiring and concerned about Monday night's issue, or Monday's night's episode for that matter, all right, they put it back up. I disputed the strike against it, the copyright infringement strike. I spoke to them niggas like I know them. You feel me? And I got that shit removed. So we have that episode back in the building. That was a monumental episode. Somebody told me that was church. Monday night's episode of Melanin Mondays is back in the queue. You know what I mean? You can tune in and check it. Please let me know if the audio is clean, like the fade with the bezel blade. Let me know. But yeah, there will be no playing of the music tonight, unfortunately. You know what I mean? I attempted to give that brother a auditory send-off, and I got strikes on the video because of copyright issues with the music. So we ain't gonna get into the music tonight. You know what I'm saying? Keep the music in your heart. You know, I want people to tell me what their favorite song is, because I'm suspect. I don't think people even checking for the music if they even know the. I don't even think they know the music yet. So check that out. Tuesday's night episode for Tough Talk Tuesday. It was another marathon. We went 4 hours on that program, and I don't think we're doing 3.5 and 4 hour episodes because we enjoy hearing one another talk. You know what I mean? There was a lot to dispense, unpack, and share with the audience, and we did it in a cavalier fashion. You know, check the archive, check the episode out, and check the entire program. I'm getting a lot of emails with people saying, "How you let son diss Nip?" And I'm like, I don't know what you heard, but once again, this is somebody who avidly listened to the brother, and he was just speaking about the nature of the content of his music, something that he consumes on the daily, saying, you know, I don't know if people actually have heard the music outside of just knowing him from his interviews. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if you're gonna check it out, check the whole thing out. All right. I got my bro right here with me in the building. Let's hear your audio. Let me make sure it's clear. Say something. All right. I don't hear you.
I hear you now. There we go.
All right. There we go.
Okay.
Gucci
Peace
fur.
to the family. Huh?
I said you Gucci. Oh, you Geechee fur. My bad.
You Geechee fur.
Yeah, you
Peace to the family. Peace to you and yours. This is your brother Red Pill reporting live and direct for another episode of Third Eye Thursday, episode 15, which lands on a very, very, very special calendar day, I must say. A number that a day and a number that is very significant to both Blue and I, and that's 4/4. All right, it should be a holiday, Blue. You know how they got, you know how
this is I mean, it's our spiritual birthday. You know what I'm saying? We have our, you know how you have your sun sign and you have your ascendant sign?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people categorize them things differently.
Facts.
Well, we have our ego and our alter ego. You know what I mean? Our superpower, you know, and this is the red and the blue is when we form our superhero. You know, Paul and Phil, that's when we working at the Daily Planet. So
that's Peter Parker.
Peter Parker, right? Yeah, everybody can't be Peter Parker, but anyway. Yeah. So yeah.
Stones on deck.
I see you.
Yeah.
I see you. You burning that sage?
No, this is incense. No sage. This is some good incense that works just like the sage, though.
All right, I'm blowing some incense too.
Yeah.
Family, this is CBD. Smoke and Grow Rich Tour. And I'm talking about.
Yes, sir. Shout out to the guards.
Yeah, come find out about it.
Huh?
I said, come find out about it. Yeah, family, today is 4/4. All right, this is April 4th. I have a special presentation. I didn't know how exactly I was going to go about, you know, honoring this day. You feel me? And then I just started sitting back and doing some homework on this incident, you know, that has captivated people's attention. And I said, look, the obligatory 72 hours is up. You know what I mean? This is the 4th day. We can delve into the mystery. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not delving into the conspiracy aspect. The mystery aspect that I choose to delve into of it is the messianic force, right? What numerical proof do I have to show that, you know, that bolsters the sentiments that I hear being echoed around the community and around the world when people step back and they're saying, yo, he was the one. I'm like, what you mean by that?
They saying that.
I'm like, what you mean by that? What you mean he was the one? They don't even know what they mean. They just keep repeating it, and it's on different outlets from different people, right? And yeah, you're gonna have Rome attack your Christ. Yeah, you're gonna have those stones. You telling me about NBC and the rest of them calling him toxic. LBG's attacking him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
What you think?
Trying to you know, do the Carlton Banks on the grave before he's even buried in the ground yet. You should know that was coming. You feel me?
I already know.
But
feel me?
Amongst those who have eyes that can see, you know what I mean? We're talking about a messianic force, and that shouldn't get you your panties in a bunch because, you know, as much as we talk about self-affirmativeness on this channel and being the best version of yourself, just because somebody is the one in their paradigm and it spills over into the general population, that don't mean that you can't be the one too, nigga. So don't get in your feelings to be like, nah, son.
He can't be the one.
You can't be the one, nigga. My baby mother told me that was me. Chill, son. I'm not trying to infringe on your oneness.
Yeah, your oneness is safe.
Yeah, your oneness is safe. You could be the oneness where you at too.
Yeah, you
right.
You're him. You're him.
Like, see, I had a very profound conversation the other day with somebody, and this kind of like initiated my final decision to share this information tonight on this program. And the elder happens to be a twin, right? And his twin has joined the realm of the ancestors. So we were speaking about, like, a lot of elders have reached out to me and complimented me on how I've dealt with instructing the general public and the people who would listen as to how traditionally we grieve, how traditionally we do certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I explain to people, like, and you know what I'm talking about. I'm part of a priesthood. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And we ain't talking about the Catholics. You dig what I'm saying? I'm part of a priesthood.
Right.
And I have a position in that priesthood that's exalted. So I'm responsible for making sure that the transitions, that certain transitory things take place in a certain way. That's what they came to me for. In this particular situation, you know, and then people know, yo, you do all the eulogies on, that's another aspect of it. But
that's Scorpio.
That's Scorpio as well. What I'm beholding to is to remind the family during certain times how to do certain things, because we may have forgotten. Certain people may have never been exposed to it. And what better time than now? You know what I mean? They like, well, we ain't do this for this person and we ain't do that. What better time than now then? You know what I'm saying? We are,
Everybody ain't the same though.
huh?
Everybody ain't the same.
Everybody ain't the same. And this is a new day, right? And a person of this magnitude deserves a different approach. You know, hopefully, as you will when your day comes, and we protect your legacy, and we make sure that your ascension is smooth. You feel me?
Not only
And we
that,
know that, you know, all of the Judases will be dealt with. You know what I'm saying?
that's right.
And you know, it's through duration, it's through time. You've waited all this time to lift a finger anyway. You could wait another week and get your shit together and direct your focus and your arrows, sharpen your arrows and direct them properly during this month of Mars, dealing with warrior spirit, dealing with competition, dealing with aggression, dealing with headshots. You
That's
know,
right.
you can make sure that your plan of attack is strategic, because 44 is military, 44 is shooter, 44 is blood, right? And that blood is red and blue. It don't just stream red. It streams red and blue.
That's right.
So the elder reminded me the greatest task that the twins, right? To twin means to win, right? And to have won is the task that twins have to pretty much master in their lifetime, is how to balance these dual energies. You know what I'm saying? And we
Yes.
all have dual energies. We are the personification of something that all of the singulars have to deal with. We are the plurals, right? In your singular life, in your singular lives, for the singulars out there, in your singular body, you have a dual nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That you have to come to grips and terms with, that you have to master. We are plurals. We have dualistic aspects of ourself, one cell splitting into two, that we have to deal with. The physicality of our spiritual nature.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're Scorpios. And then our master number happens to be 11. And then we're the twin pillars. And then we have the law of 44, dealing with the red and the blue. You dig what I'm saying? So
Definitely. One of the things that
wait, because these niggas was just talking 11-11 last week, man. Just last week, right?
soon they forget.
And I'm tired of fucking people getting spooked when these principles manifest themselves in real time and call for your attention. You niggas was just talking numerology last week, right? Now when the nip shit happened, nobody want to pay attention to numbers. Nobody wants to acknowledge and heed the fact that, you know, the great divine speaks through signs.
Yes, it does. It's a cosmic conversation taking place. If you don't know, if you have not noticed, like, if that's not evident at this point,
A cosmic conversation taking place,
there's
dealing with a
something bigger
child of God, right? And I'm tired of us utilizing puritanical approaches with our eyes about how we see one another. Oh, he was a gangbanger. Oh, he did this. Oh, he did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, the lowest of us is still a child of God.
Yeah, like
The
what are you
lowest of
talking
us.
about?
You feel me? And
Has
as
anybody been
Scorpios,
a
we understand the alchemical process of transformation, right? You rise from your ashes, burnt the fuck up. That's the lowest that you can get
that's right.
is ash.
And for people who claim to be so biblically knowledgeable about the story or the mythos, in many different in many of these mythologies, they speak about the quote unquote savior or the Christ-like figure or the one who had Christ-like Christ consciousness. And the fact that this person was in the lower rungs of society, you understand? The fact that this person comes out of the underworld, they come out of the lowest rungs of society, the quote unquote bottom of
The casket is already closed where he come from. Can you imagine being born into a closed casket?
That's right. Look, I don't want to get too far in it right now and go too deep, but when we were in Las Vegas, right?
Yes.
This was my teacher moment, because I'm not going to act like when I went there, I actually knew this. I was taught that Las Vegas is really the bottom of the ocean.
Right.
People would say, what are you talking about, Red Pill? That's a desert, if anything. And I would say, you know, don't take my word for it. Look it up. Because when you visit Las Vegas and you pay attention to the fact that you're surrounded by mountain, it's a mountainous range, and where the desert is located is actually a valley, right? So that was once filled with water and is deserted now, right?
Yes.
But that was once filled with water.
Yes, it's the bottom of the ocean.
2019, if not for many, many years, has been a year that has been strumming on the strings of the Middle Passage a lot, right? I don't remember a year where the concept or the conversation about slavery has been so dominant in mainstream media. I'm talking about the collective hive mind, right? So this is a 400-year bookmark.
Right. Let me I just want to before you I just want to qualify that the bottom of the ocean is governed by an Orisha named Olokun, right? Okay. This would be in the pantheon. This is what they would consider God, right? It comes from the lowest bottom of the ocean, right? Olokun, the Orisha of great wealth, okay, can be found at the bottom of the ocean. So it should be of no mystery to you then why Las Vegas is popping and it's a magnet for wealth, because it's governed by the energy of Olokun, who resides at the bottom of the ocean. Why are Jews and Italians able to tap into that energy, but the Ados, the descendants of that African phenomena,
of those mystics, the mystics, the ones who, you know, the vessels who carry that deity in them on some American God shit. The magic is in their blood. But the Jew and the Italian has tapped into that energy, like you said, Blue.
Yeah, so I ain't want to cut you. Continue, please. I just
no. I want you to keep. If you had anything else that you wanted to say about that.
Nah, son.
Okay, so look.
That's it.
So.
Okay, Olokun is revered as the ruler of all bodies of water and for the authority over other water deities, right? Because they hold on strong to Yemayah. No disrespect. They hold on strong to Oshun. No disrespect. But Olokun. That's Zaddy.
You know what I'm talking about? That
Go
would
ahead.
be in the, I think in Moana, because you know some of those those Disney movies, you know, you just have to pull up the chart of pull up the encyclopedia of of the deities and whatnot, so you can line them up. But I'm sure that's who they were referring to in that movie, because in the movie they were bringing up multiple deities of the ocean. But anyway,
Yes.
when I sat back, I was like, damn, here it is. So in Los Angeles, would that be the same thing with the valley and with that mountainous range that we see?
Yes.
Would that also qualify to say that that's the bottom of the ocean?
I mean, we would have to do um geological research to qualify that
That part.
assumption. Um, it's a good assessment, you know, based on you making a view on the surface and tying things together. You know, Los Angeles is the valley of dry bones. You
That's
know what I'm
right.
saying? It's a dry valley. It's a dust bowl surrounded by mountains, which are
Mountainous
magical.
regions.
Mountainous regions, they're magical. Because they had gold in them as well.
Gold mountains. Gold mountains.
You know,
Black
hence the
smoke.
fact that Hollywood Hills and all of the other mountains would be where, you know, a lot of the power, you know what I'm saying, is being drawn from. What that power is being drawn from for, again, that's up to question. You feel me?
Yes.
But yes, those are magical mountains, and that valley is special. And again, we're talking about a city that was incorporated on April 4th, that was founded by 44 African Mexicans. Nobody
That's
talks about
fact.
this. 44 Afro Mexicans is what they call them, Lupitas.
Facts. Go and look it up, because Lupita's from Mexico. That's Narcos.
You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to Pio Pico, you know, and the other governors, the indigenous Mexican Africans that were in power in that region. And everybody gonna talk, right? Watch them. They're gonna get in the chat to be talking about Queen Khalifa. It's deeper than that. No disrespect. Queen Khalifa and the Amazonians. How about that?
And yeah, you got to add. Let's not just do one name.
Yeah, let's just not just do one. Let's qualify with the whole
Let's do a Bobby Hemmett roll call, because when we talk about greatness, and when we talk about warriors and kingdoms and empires, you should have a roll call like they got for Game of Thrones. You should have a
right.
roll call like you niggas do for Lord of the Rings or any other Sir and Duke, and y'all know the whole lineage. You know what I'm saying? Apply that to your own people, because they got names. You know what I'm saying? They have titles, and you should invoke them.
Yes. They have names, they have titles, they have empires, they have historical legacies. You know what I mean? And once again, remember, they made reference to all of California as Santa Cruz at one point.
Facts. So look at this, right?
Okay.
In this 400th year celebration, this is the Jubilee year. So everything that's occurring in this year should be looked at through the third eye. Shout out to whoever drew that picture of Nipsey with the third eye. You captured the moment. You helped break through the monotony of what was taking place and put people back into you put people back where they're supposed to be and focus on what we were witnessing, right? So you got to look at this. You got to look at all of this stuff with your third eye, right? Bird Box. Put on the blindfolds, cover your two eyes who are deceiving you.
Deceiving you.
Yes, that are deceiving you. That can actually lead you to madness and bring out certain demons in you. Remember, they say you got to be careful about what you look at. Don't stare,
Right.
get horse in the mouth. Certain people who see war will tell you that they wish that they went into war with blindfolds on, because they can't
Right. Because they can't shake
certain
it.
things, right? Certain people have been said to have triggered demonic urges or deep, dark, shadowy urges themselves after seeing certain things that they can't unsee. Oh, I have demons talking to me. Somebody is telling me to go out and kill. I got voices in my head. This is coming from soldiers who suffer from PTSD, sleep deprivation, anxiety, and all kind of other things returning from war. So everybody is always so quick to see the murder. You want to see the blood. You want to see the body on the ground. You always, you know, a lot of our people are into, we're very maniacs, right? We
Yeah.
we're heavily steeped in necromancy. I'm gonna get into that in a minute. I won't necessarily say that that's an indictment. That's not something that we can necessarily measure ourselves with our being civilized or not, because when we go into ancient great civilizations, they will also prepare it. They will also encapsulate it in with the death cycle.
Facts.
And to be honest with you, Blue, guess what this situation has opened up my eyes to, and other situations as well, because remember, I was experiencing a heavy death cycle in the ending of the winter season when I put everybody on notice and took a hiatus because I said it's a lot of death in the winter season. You know what I'm talking about? And it's if we are netters that are in alignment with nature, niggas should be hibernating. How about that? You know what I'm talking about? Because in the winter season, winter is here, you're going to witness a lot of loss and whatnot. So I would rather be in a place where I'm centered so I could prepare myself, because I know what the winter brings.
Fact.
Right at the end of the winter, the last day of the winter, we close out winter is here, or this winter season that was drunk, you know, the portals were opened up in March Madness. Eric Dixon got killed at his own birthday party. Tech Nine died in his sleep. The brother Prime, you know what I mean? And a lot of this was taking place on social media. So it doesn't matter if certain people are known in households and everything. In my timeline, I'm seeing all of this stuff, you know, along with the other random RIPs and stuff like that. When I saw what was going on, I understood what was happening as this season was closing out, right?
Yes, sir.
And then when Nipsey came at the end, I was like, yo, this is ill, right? Because you opened up my eyes to this. You helped me with this, you helped me to receive the download, because you explained how Kemetic society ultimately was preparing to leave here. It was not about falling in love with the flesh. It was not about falling in love with humanity or your human experience. It was not about lambasting in your mortality, right? It was about coming to this plane of existence, this duality or dual nature or dualistic reality, like you talked about earlier. And I wanted to add on because earlier we released a video with Brother Rich, with Father Rich, and we talk about double consciousness. And I'm relating that to the movie Us. And I also wanted to speak about two-ness. So I want people to go and look up W.E.B. Du Bois, double consciousness, and go and look up two-ness. All right. The fact that our ADOS, the African American, suffers from a special kind of neurosis that nobody else in our quote unquote in the United States of America can necessarily say that they suffer from. And that's from double consciousness. We have an identity politic crisis. There's in the realm of identity politics, we will never really know who we are, because we view ourselves through the lens of an oppressive society, white dominant society, or Western society, or what people have termed white supremacy. But we also look at ourselves through the eyes of, you know, of you know what I'm saying? Of Black men and women from the diaspora who have a lineage, or even from the indigenous estates in the Americas, or even from all over the world, because we're global. You know what I mean? So we see ourselves in a high place, especially when we're amongst ourselves. But when we go amongst European or Westernized society, we automatically begin to shake. We code switch. They call it code switching now. Du Bois calls it double consciousness.
Yes, yes. The inherent conflict of having your foot in one particular part and your heart in another.
That's
So,
right.
and it was be predicted that the Negro would be torn down the middle from his allegiance to what is underneath his feet and what resonates, as his environment, the closeness of home. Like you have to provide, but your mind and your heart is on another continent. You know what I'm saying? And he used, I believe he may have used this as a ideological argument to go against Pan-Africanists to say we should only focus on one thing or one continent at a time because the double consciousness is going to make us progressively what may be weaker for competition if we got to be constantly on our p's and q's and on our toes, no pun intended.
Yeah, well,
No,
ultimately, what they were saying was that the oneness would be the perfect balance between the two, and the ideal is to achieve oneness, right?
indeed.
And what that translates to is that you could go into westernized society and still be yourself. So you're actually measuring yourself through your lens now, not by their standards, right? So you've achieved a oneness. You're Sean Carter in a room full of vultures and whatnot, where but he do be putting on that voice. But you're
It's been a
Nipsey.
minute.
Hey,
It's been a minute.
you're
His shit got more bass in it now. Come on.
it's getting better.
It's getting
But
better.
you're,
It got
you're
more bass in it.
Nipsey, you're Nipsey in a room full of vultures, right? Where you still got your neck tats. You might even have your do-rag on at the Puma party, right? You're Meek Mill around Robert Kraft. You're able to just be yourself. There's no sorry to bother you. You feel me? You're not code switching. When somebody changes their tonalities around me, whilst in the presence of a Nordic, right? That's a pet peeve of I get extremely. That's one of my pet peeves. Like I don't I don't jack that. No cap. What I'm talking about. To me that's cap. Like what are you doing? Like are you bilingual?
Don't.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a
Oh,
neurosis.
you trying to say you don't got a Poindexter voice?
I do have a Poindexter voice, but the shit don't come out willingly. You know what I'm talking about? It don't come out willingly. I'll pull that nigga out the hat if emergencies only, maybe. You feel me? When I'm trying to get a bail or something, but other than that, no. I ain't on that. I ain't on that. But look at what we have here, Blue. So what you said was the ancient Cometians prepared for the afterlife. Not on some, oh, we're going to be all right in heaven, so let's suffer while we're here. No, they said be a legend while you're here, my nigga, and leave a mark while you're here, and you will be immortalized on this plane, and then you'll be one of them shining stars in the endless galaxy. What I'm realizing, it's not what you, this reality that we're in is about your death. It's not about your life, so to say. Your credit is run in your death. Is that you can't run your credit while you're alive. You cannot get your ratings while you're here, my niggas. You can't get your fucking pardon me, I don't want to curse tonight. You don't get your TransUnion report in your what's the other one? Yeah. What is it? Where my scammers at? Where is it? What is it? Talk to me.
It's not Expedia. That's the flight.
Yeah, whatever. Expedient. You don't get your numbers. You get your report. When you put a date on it. Like when we leave school, you're not going to get your report card until graduation day, my G. With his death but a graduation. He victory lap. That man graduated, and he said, well, give me some bars, Blue. I'm sucker free. What did he say? No blemishes.
Oh, no smother. Look at my
No,
wait.
last time
That I checked, there was no smut on my rap. There was nigga.
Last time that I checked. So on the 400th year of this quote unquote 400-year curse, what's the passage for all of my pastors out there? Talk black to me. Give me the passage of the curse.
Oh, that's Genesis 15:13, I believe.
Yeah, Genesis 15:13. The curse.
Last time that I checked.
Yeah, the curse that has us on and in a cursed state on our shitty cuz, or you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So we came here in according to the story, right? Allegedly, this is the story. This is the narrative that they're selling us. So they're saying in 1619, the Middle Passage over that body of water, right, where the royalty, the kings and the queens in the royal bloodlines and people like that were pushed and jumped overboard. Some were even killed and died on the ship. And there are millions of bodies strewn along the ocean.
Yes.
On the way to the west, right? They said that the sun shall set in the west. All the way on the west coast, there's another ocean. But that ocean is a desert now, and that ocean is a valley now, and that ocean is called Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles. And that ocean is dried up and is Las Vegas, Sin City, right? And something about these two places that struck me very interestingly enough, because remember, we still exist in as ADOS. Shout out to my ADOS out there. Salute. Right? But we also have to pay homage to the fact that we've transported our gods over here, and we have a small case of American godism in our culture.
Talk about it.
Right? And the gods that I'm referring to are the luminaries amongst us who have risen up to basically,
Galvanize the people's attention, galvanize the people's worship, galvanize the people's trust.
Yeah.
You feel me?
They worship them. They pray to them. Every time you press play, it's a form of prayer in a sense. You're listening to the sermon.
Every time you make a purchase, it's a vote. Yeah.
Every time you make a purchase, it's a vote. The American rappers are the American gods of today. The same way that the TV show is showing you the struggle between the old gods and the new gods. If you don't think their old gods are struggling with their adherents against these new gods that have popped up and reincarnated by utilizing music and culture and other things that are very indigenous, that actually aided and abetted them in other ages, right? Because, we always shined our light. But the new American gods, and when I say gods, people are going to be like, do they make it hail, storm, rain, earthquake? According to who you ask, I would say, yeah, they do. But I'm not referring it to that aspect. What I'm referring to is what the TV show American Gods is going to explain to you when you get into it. That what people like Blue said, it's what you pay attention to. This is the attention economy. It's different now. It's what you give your undivided attention to. In the TV show American Gods, and also in the book, the new gods are. They just introduced her the other episode. It was a Japanese girl called New Media.
Word.
Then they introduced us later on in that episode to a dude who resembled like a Jabba the Hutt, Uncle Fester. He was called a Dark Web.
They did that?
Then the dominant god.
They did that in Wreck-It Ralph too. Go ahead.
The dominant, the god who's lining everything up is Internet Boy, right?
Yeah.
He's like a white soldier boy. but the one who's hoarding over him is called the World Wide Web.
World Wide Web. So these are
Right?
all different components.
These are all different components, but they're broken up into demigods. So in the culture, the most dominant culture on the planet, consecutively, 45 years old, hip hop, right? And in the West, the sun has set in the West 3 times already with the killings of the kings or the gods, the sacrificing of the gods in the ocean in the West, at the bottom of the ocean in the West.
Oh,
The
finish.
same
Hold
kings
on.
and gods that was on the bottom of the ocean coming here. These kings, they sacrificed Biggie Smalls and the city of Los Angeles. Then they sacrificed our good brother Tupac Shakur at the bottom of the ocean in Las Vegas. Then they sacrificed the god, the next god in alignment in the city of Los Angeles in quote unquote Nipsey Hussle, and all 3 of them got killed by either the red or the blue. How about that for size? So all the greats, the ones who sit at the pinnacle, because remember, the greatness in hip hop doesn't come when you're alive. As we can see, it comes in death. It doesn't matter about when you're alive. Jay is solidified with the place on that mountain, right? And he's laying out his godhood, and he's walking the mythos. He's carrying out his mission or his missive while in the flesh, thus certifying himself as in a place in that pantheon. But the ones who occupy that space right now are Biggie Smalls and Tupac Shakur, who were martyred, right? But they were turned into not just saints. They sit at the pinnacle of this quote unquote divinity system that they call hip hop, that was birthed in the same borough that I'm sitting in right now, the Bronx, right?
X.
But they only became that when in their quote unquote deaths.
In their death.
In their death. You know what I mean? I won't necessarily say because this is a deaf culture. I won't necessarily say because we're necromancers. I would go with what you were talking about, with the fact that this is, you know, as our good brother, our master teacher, Black Dot, opened our eyes and our third eyes to, with the decoding of hip hop, when he aligned the 5 pillars of hip hop,
right,
with the 5 pillars of our ancient Kemetic civilizations. Some things, you know, they say there's nothing new under the sun, and I could, you know, I don't necessarily go for that.
Right, but we know what they mean.
But we know what they mean. But what I would say is energy never dies, and all it does is transform, and it succumbs to the time-space continuum in which it exists. If this was a different time and a different time-space continuum, the energy would be off the charts. But it's, you know, it is what it is. So at the end of the 400-year curse, we lose a Coptic, Eritrean, child of God, right? What does his last name mean? You gonna get into that tonight?
Huh? Yeah. You can touch.
A child of God. Now I'm gonna leave some on the table for you.
Bruh,
a child of God.
Enough, trust me.
Huh?
I got enough. Do what you gotta do. Talk your talk.
You know, a Coptic, a Jew. The whole name is Hebrew. So is 21 Savage's name.
Are they Hebrew or they Aramaic or a different, you know what I'm saying? Energy frequency altogether.
His last name is Hebrew. He's a Habashah. You know what I'm saying? This is the original tribe. This is who is in Israel right now fighting.
Right. And his father's name is David.
But I'm saying it's the Eritreans and the Ethiopians who are holding the fort over in Israel, along with some of the brothers from the States and some Africans from different nations on the continent. But those are the people who are over there like, oh, we talking about what? The Jews? We here, what's up? And then they got them, you know, they trying to keep them out of that light. Right?
Yes. Continue.
So, yeah. So the reason why we would qualify him as a comparative, because the Tupac comparisons have already begun, and they basically, you know, they're adding up quickly, right? The body of work that he hopefully completed before his untimely demise, you know, in my humble opinion, this is me putting my word on the line. It will solidify him as, you know, but he's fitting comfortably in that spot. He said it, he willed it himself on victory, on dedication. Tupac of my era.
Blue pill in the fucking Matrix.
Matrix.
Tupac of his generations.
Tupac of his generation.
Yeah,
you know,
don't be scared. This nigga red pill. Don't be scared to say the blue shit. Get it off.
He's been martyred. And he got immortalized. Remember the movie?
My thing is, yeah, like, you know, Pac spoke on creating the spark, or create, you know what I mean, that ultimately will become the revolution. We all have different ideas about what revolution entails. You know what I'm saying?
No, hold on. See, people don't understand the power of a martyr or what sainthood is. And they think that when somebody makes their transition at a young age and they were not able to complete their cycle, or because that person didn't take over Los Angeles and was ruling it with a sword, that they didn't complete the mission. Not realizing and not paying, you know, not giving credit to the fact that these people are martyrs. Martyrs were inspiration. Remember, they flew the flag of the saint at war. The people going to the war was able to win the war because of the power of the saints or the martyrs in which they were riding for. What did he say? If they take me, ride for me. He didn't necessarily say, if the FDA takes me, ride for me. And he didn't necessarily say, he said, ride for me if they take me. If I'm going before I'm an old man with, you know what I mean? And dying in the orange grove like the Godfather, then ride for me. So it's your interpretation of what ride for me is going to determine how you ride. Some niggas is riders and sliders. Some people are STEM researchers. Some people are app developers. Some dudes are lyricists. It's just different interpretations.
Some people throw Molotovs.
Some people, you know what I mean? Some people get it in. So ride for me is going to speak to different people in different ways. Pac said it might not be, but I'm going to spark him. Nipsey laid out the whole blueprint in the music that if you listen to what he was talking, if you read go on Google the lyrics, he's speaking to somebody else. He's not just talking about himself. He's not gloating. He's not self-aggrandizing in the music. He's not stunt. It's not stunt music. It's not stunt music. It's motivational. He's speaking to your doubts and your fears and your limitations.
And your mediocrity, right?
And your mediocrity. That's what he's speaking to. And he's not talking about himself. He has upliftment music. He said, I figured out the formula when they told me as long as I was writing inspirational rap, it's gonna go. Don't matter how, make sure it sound good and it's out of here. And that's what he locked in with. And that's where it went. Now, I don't want anybody over, you know, who is not familiar with Nipsey Hussle to think that we're up here talking about a gospel rapper, or even when we say inspiration, you're gonna listen to something that you think Tony Robinson would deliver. No, he's gonna deliver it from a ADOS at his 400th year of this goddamn cycle that we're in, from the city of Los Angeles, in the gutter of it, in the trenches, where your Bible told you that the Messiah will come speaking the language of the people, and he would be amongst the killers, the bangers, the sliders, and the riders. All of a sudden, you forget your lessons.
All
but
of a sudden,
don't worry about it, because things like that happen. You know what I mean? People don't got, it's a loss of magnesium in the hood, and zinc and shit like that. Niggas' minds is not right. But you'll catch on later. You know what I'm talking about? But they calling him Saint Nick. I was on my Instagram live today, and a sister, I got to get her name, beautiful sister. She was wearing all blue. I brought her in on my live. She was blue from the head to the toe. Talk black to me, blue.
Oh no, it's a blue wave. It's a blue wave.
Yeah, blue wave. Yeah, blue face.
It's
Remember, we did the lecture from black face to blue face.
Yeah.
So she coined the term Saint Nip.
Legendary.
And if the family understands the power of, if people understand the power of being able to venerate those amongst you, and and just follow, not necessarily follow like a follower, but take heed to the things that were being done. Why is Nipsey being praised like this? Why is Nipsey being felt like this? Why are women who didn't even know him poring over the pictures of him and Lauren London and crying? They had Papoose and Remy. They had Stevie J and Faith. You know what I'm talking about? They had Kanye and Kim. They had Tristan and Chloe. They wasn't jacking for Nipsey and Lauren.
Nah.
They wasn't jacking for that. You feel me?
Not initially.
It wasn't Couples Alert on Shade Room when
it wasn't
they pulled
goals,
up.
Yeah.
But now, that's the illest romance story ever written. That's Love Jones Part 2. I'm seeing montages. Because it hurts. And we know that she's hurting. And she's loved. That's Nunu.
It's Nunu.
Every man wanted her.
It's everybody's boo-boo.
That's everybody's boo. That's everybody's bae. The shorties that's not into shorty, they like, that's bae. We're just gonna put patchouli oil on each other, and that's bae. We ain't gonna do nothing, but that's just bae. We're gonna Netflix and chill. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
The baby is beautiful, intelligent. I cried when I heard him talk. I'm being honest. You know what I mean? Like I could openly talk about shedding tears. You know what I'm saying? Because I met that man. You know what I mean? It ain't like I'm a stranger. Like I met him in his early days. It's always good to meet somebody before they start running the marathon. You know what I'm talking about?
Factory.
It hit differently than when you meet somebody in the midst of the race and then you handing them water and whatnot. They on the go, so they don't really pay attention to you. You know what I'm saying? But they thank you for the water. But when you meet people in the beginning of the race, it's just hit differently. So I've been watching him running for this whole time, and not a lap. He didn't finish the race. He basically stepped into a whole nother lane. His marathon is he's running rings around Saturn right now. He got immortalized. If I've ever seen anybody shot into the cosmos, because remember, the love of the people is gonna push you up out this prison. You understand?
Fact.
Motherfuckers could get trapped into this bitch if nobody is pouring out any kind of emotion and pushing you up out of here. Certain people be like, I wish he burned in, you know, not him, but when people damn your name and talk down on your name and drag you before the 72 hours, then they could weigh you down. But the brother's been propelled. I know that his going away ceremony is going to be very emotional. It is going to, because a lot of people are triggered already. This is a triggered event. You know what I mean? But I know that it's just gonna add on to the ascension protocol. He didn't die. He ascended. Let's be clear. Niggas die every day, B, but not everybody ascends. So you're witnessing ascension on the book end of your 400-year curse, right? Adios on adios violence, right? And even if he was working for the boys, even worse. Treason, which is 2 to the head. Niggas talking about, you know what I mean? Treason, which is a automatic, you know, in any time of warfare, you know what treason is. So the race is a race, because this is Mr. Marathon, Victory Lap. Nipsey Hussle exemplified the race. And now he's being embraced by the race. This is a race only embraced, not only our race. I'm saying he's loved across the border. The Mexicans love him. A lot of the Europeans love him. He had a big European fan base.
Eastern
So
European,
it's not
European, like literally cross seas. Like
across seas. He
the
blew
white
up
boys, when
overseas
I was
first,
doing
right?
the website for him 10 years ago, his initial fan base was Europeans,
Euros.
young white males. Loved him.
Facts. But the race is claiming him now.
Yes,
So
he's ours.
I've often made the analogy about the fact that our race, right, is in a race with other races. And those races, the yellow race, the white race, the brown race, the red race, they have aspirations to all be number one. And it's only right when you realize that you are in a race. A race for what, Red Pill? A race for supremacy. A race for dominance. A race for power. The hell are you running for? What are you, a hamster? You just running in a damn circle to power something? What are you running for? What is this race sent here for? What do we in? Why are we here? What do we go through 400 years for? You better, I hope you realize that the last is gonna come first, and the first is gonna come last, right? And then it switches around. But I hope that you are rooting for your race to win the race. And there are some amongst us who should be running with us, but they're running against us. These would be known as the saboteurs of the race. These sneaky individuals are known to tie shoelaces together. Look at this, right? These conniving saboteurs are known to give out faulty sneakers. These wicked saboteurs and traitors of their own race have given out water that has poison in it. So in the movie The Matrix, the analogy that was shown to us about the saboteur who was trying to basically, you know, sabotage his team from winning the race, they gave him a name and it was called Cypher, and he sold out his whole team for a piece of steak, right? Could we decode that, family? Do you need KT on deck to get to break that one down, or could you handle that?
That was the Impossible Burger
Yeah.
for the Impossible Burger. The nigga
He
sold
sold
out
niggas out for the Impossible
Zion for the
Burger
Impossible
King.
Burger.
Is Burger King, who is it? White Castle or Burger King with the Impossible Burger?
White Castle got it. One of them, Burger King, one of them is coming with their own version.
So the traitor amongst us, the rat. Is this not yet? It's what my Chinese people? I didn't even do roll call. Who's from China? Where's my Manchurian?
The rat.
Is it? Hold on. Hello, Chun Li. What you doing? Is this the year of the rat? What? What you? Is this the year of the rat? No, not the hood rat. Is this the year of the rat? Okay. All right. You pay now too. Yeah, this is the year of the rat. You got to keep them away from you. But can you identify who the rat is? Can you identify the qualities of a rat? Can you identify the qualities of a shitty cuz? Because everybody's circle all of a sudden got tighter now, right? Yo, why did they blast back? I would have had my shooters with me. Do you know what the saboteurs even look like? Can we run the race with the same group of people who are trying to bash my brother right now? Are they even qualified to run with us? Are they naturally saboteurs because of their dispositions? It's vantage point. Certain people, it's the movie Us. It's the House of Mirrors. Certain people look in the mirror and see something in themselves. They're gonna see the rat in them, and it's some shit that you might not be able to see. But a rat looks in the mirror and sees a rat, or you know, these people, you know, like in the movie Us, Lupita was looking at Red, who is an aspect of herself who she's become familiar with, because everybody knows their shadow self at this point, right? Everybody knows that reflection that stares back at them that don't look like them, that they got to hurry up and beautify and cover up, get your face beat, right? Hurry up.
Get your face beat.
Let me make this beat appointment, because the shit that I saw this morning.
Yeah, I don't like that.
My fangs are coming out. Right? I'm beginning the show. So we have to have the conversation at the end of the 400-year Jubilee before we go into 2020 clean, right? How are we going to deal with the tethered one? How are we going to deal with the part of us that's attached to us, our shadow self? How are we going to deal with the saboteur, not only amongst us, but the one that's inside of us? You know what I'm talking about? Your lower self, your shadow self, that part of yourself that whose fangs come out when the lights go out or when no one is looking. That part of yourself who's responsible for sabotaging, self-destruction, and trying to motherfucking drive your car off the goddamn highway. You ever been driving and some shit took over and try to swerve you in the other lane and you have to snap out of it? Like, don't do that right now. Some people got this. Some people got Agent Smith inside their matrix right now. Malware. That's a fact. You ever heard the shooters shoot somebody and be like, yo, something took me over and it wasn't me? Motherfucker was just talking to me, telling me to shoot. That's your lower self or that's that demon in you, or whatever the fuck is taking over people, right? That's red, that red chakra, when you basically lose control of your conscious mind and the demon takes over. Because that's what had to happen with Shitty Cuz in order to go into killer mode, to go and smoke that man in front of his store like that. He's tethered to him. He's been tethered to him for his whole life, more than likely. And he's tethered to him for life now.
Facts.
And I don't know if anything can sever him, but you know, he's caught multiple bodies. But I'm sure that one right there is gonna be his ball and chain forever, even in the afterlife.
Even in the afterlife.
You know, and I could go deeper with it about the fact that, you know, some of us who plan, you know, we put a date on it. Like we knew it was gonna happen. So some of you even picked your killer. How about that before you came?
That's too much
and
for
in,
them.
in the spirit realm, it said that the person that killed you, y'all don't have beef. What you think, niggas is fighting on a higher plane over freeing you from this earthly plane? It doesn't work like that.
On the prison planet?
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. And our ancestors didn't see it like that either, you know. But, you know, it's just interesting, Blue. Like, I'm really looking at this thing from a whole level that you know, that exceeds. I was able to reach these levels. I was able to wash up on these shores, and I was able to reach these levels by going through deep pain. You know, when you came up with some bars that was like out of this world, but that shit had to come when your ribs was meeting each other, touching.
Factory. That's what my best.
Or you went through
my best.
You was going through the Future Heartbreak Hotel.
Oh yeah, that's where my best material came from. Shit,
that's right.
All that shit. I was broken.
That's right.
Yeah. Real talk.
I remember being on death's bed, yo, on the edge, and coming up with some of the brightest concepts that helped pull me out of that hole. So I've been going through a lot of pain since Nipsey made transition. I've been going through mixed emotions. I've been going through retrospection, but I've also been drowning myself in the music, and the music is able to uplift me, and you know, put me. It's energized me. It got me pumped up because the motivation hit differently now. So I just been meditating, walking meditations, you know, just in deep thought. You feel me? And I was able to just start drawing certain conclusions. It was just coming to me like, yo, like the kings, we've been getting martyred and killed and taken from. The messiahs have been getting taken out. You feel me? Like taken from us, you know, for time immemorial. But one of the things that always is reassuring is that energy never dies. And as many as has left us, as many more has come. Because it's hard to tell from this point, standing where we are right now, if we'll ever see another Nipsey. But I would say that, you know, we'll never see another Nipsey the same way that we'll never see another Pop. We're either gonna evolve or we're gonna devolve. But you'll get a combination of maybe all three of them coming up. You have no idea what the future holds because the future got us this far. We're mourning over somebody who we would never even have realized would be, huh?
That some people didn't know it was amongst them. Right?
They didn't even know him.
We had Black History Month, but this man had the first smart store ever. I ain't seen no posts about him. I seen posts about the Sabi contributions. I didn't see posts about the STEM program. Right? There's
That's
a
right.
lot. Nobody said this young man had his own dispensary. I mean, I knew that.
Yeah, that's not even talked about. Nobody spoke about
With a
a
grow in the back.
blockchain. Nobody spoke about the blockchain. They said that he was the face of the urban early adopter, right? The early adopter from the urban face tats, my nigga, in Rick Ross beard of blockchain. Do you know how revolutionary that is? Do you know how much that helped to pump young melanated entrepreneurs to jump into the blockchain and the crypto world? Do you know do you know that his business partner, who could be identified as an asset to Nipsey Hussle, is maybe, potentially the next Elon Musk of Black America? And dude was on deck with Nipsey with whatever he was doing. And he was the he was the keyway to Instagram, Facebook, all of these Silicon Valley. He walks right in there. He could walk Nip and into any of those situations and begin to broker billion-dollar deals. That's the marathon. That's how the race goes.
Talking about Idris?
Yeah, I'm talking about Idris.
Mm-hmm.
So
when I posted him up 3 weeks ago, nobody knew who that was. To this day, 99.9% of people, in our community walking past him, they won't know who this brother is. This brother Idris, he built out the Explorer page on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? He's done many other things that are profound in the tech world. This is a African, not an ADOS. And again, this is not to take anything away from our family. My message is always, don't throw your cousins away. Don't throw your brothers away. Don't lock the door on them. They came over here to make contributions. They are assets. We need them in our corner. They're geniuses. They're mathematical geniuses. They have emotional discipline. They have entirely different different dispositions about what legacy and all of that stuff entails. They come from a different region. They have a different story to tell. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just so many things that I can continuously say about the importance of embracing our allies that are, the ones especially that are already over here doing. That are already over here. You know what I'm saying? They got the motherfucking ore in the water already making big waves. You need to get on the boat with them. Don't motherfucking voluntarily. You doing the shit they did at us, right? You the tethered nigga to the father dropping off the back of the boat, like God damn, homie.
Yeah, man. Ocean to ocean, my nigga. Ocean to ocean. The kings die in the West, right?
Look, they said Idris is giving free classes at the Apple Store.
At the Apple Store, yeah.
This Saturday, if you're in California.
Yep.
And she believes it will be streamed as well. Robert Smith was talking about streaming free classes. I got the little young girl who started a whole coding program for melanated children when her father was incarcerated. They're looking for the 2020 coders that she wants to put on. Let me pull her name up so they could look her up and never say that there was nobody out here putting on for the babies in real time on this tech shit. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
There's people out here doing Uber work, and the only thing they need to do is tap in, because a lot of this stuff is for free. 13-year-old JJ, right? That baby, JJ, right? And she on my IG, she be commenting and all that.
What's up?
Yeah, she's showing them how to master their phone. Sign up a youth for her Youth Dev 101, Youth DEV, Youth Dev 101 course, live webinar every week. All right, let me show you. I'm gonna go into her bio real quick so I can get you this information if you really need it. And hopefully that will be able to help one of the youngsters. All right. Join my online coding class live every Wednesday. All right. I'm going to take you to the link. Her name on IG is The Real JJP. JAYJAYP. The Real JJP. All right. For the parents out there, if you have children,
get them up in that coding.
Get them up in that coding. At The Real JJP. You go to her page and hit the link. It takes you to a link tree. So I can't tell you what the exact address is right now. But if you go to her page and hit the bio and the link, you feel me? It's gonna take you directly to the place where she does youth coding classes. All right, she's a legend. Let's not get this twisted.
Super legend.
Super legend. She's 13, and her mission is to teach 2020 youth how to code by the year 2020. Her father's name is Antoine Digital. He taught himself coding while incarcerated. And she came up with an entire program to help other inmates communicate with their children utilizing an app. And they built it all out themselves. All right. And they was on Steve Harvey. That's how I found out about them. All right. So with her free coding class, she wants to teach 2020 people how to code for free. Now let me pull up Idris. All right, not Alba either. No disrespect. Shout out to the homie.
Idris Alba.
Idris, right.
Elbow.
Yeah, but go ahead. Speak on something. I gotta pull this up real quick.
Yeah, family. If you're in a Baltimore area, DC, DMV, a quick announcement. I believe I shall be at the Ebenezer Baptist Church. Is it Ebenezer in Baltimore? Reality Speaks. My brother Jabari, not the lecturer, but the promoter, and his promotion companies, Reality Speaks. They're doing something at that church on Sunday. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's a debate. I don't know what it is, but I know it got something to do with the ADOS. I'm not sure 100%. I'll be vending. Kings County will be in the building. Twin the album, the music will be there as well.
Oh yeah. And I ain't even really get a chance to tap in today, y'all, but it's the 1 year anniversary of the goddamn Twin album. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness, it is.
It specifically, it was released like 11:59 on 4/4/2018. So it's real full flush release was seen, you know, today on the 5th, but it was designated to come out on 4/4 last year. Came out at midnight or a little before that. And yeah, we in the building.
That's a whole year that this album been out.
Yeah, whole
Shout
year.
out to everybody who got a copy, a double album, Twin the album, all of the supporters, everybody that's still buying it. We appreciate you. Yeah, this whole year up until 2020, we'll be turning out content from that project. We have a lot of content to put out from that project. So look out for that. You know, I'm talking about, and happy 1 year to that classic piece of work. Good looking Cambada. Shout out to Cambada.
Yeah, shout out to Cambada.
Brother Rich.
Shout
out to Blue Pill for his contribution.
Shout out to International P.
Contribution.
Shout out to Melanie. Shout out to Ty.
Shout out to yes.
Did the cover art. he did a lot of artistic consultations behind the scenes to make sure that
Yeah,
that piece of art came out, you know, on the highest standard. He even plugged me with his manufacturer so I could independently press up physical copies.
that's right.
Shout out to Mama Pill. She opened up the album.
That's
Shout out
right.
to KT. He made the last track on the shout out. Who else was on the album that needs to be shouted out? There was, man, we ain't had that many guests on it, did we?
Nah, we had Kambada and Just B.
Yeah, Kambada Just Be AA on Fake News.
That's
All right.
fact.
So shout out to all of the participants. You know what I mean? Shout out to the people that I had secret A&Rs that endured late nights with me where I would come and play tracks for them and they'd be like, yeah, this, not that. So shout out to my late night secret A&Rs.
Word.
Yeah, y'all make this shit happen. They made this happen too. Shout out to Prince, Red and Blue Purple. You know what I mean? Shout out to all of y'all that bought that album that thought that that track was on it.
Yeah, shout out.
It's still their
Yeah.
favorite track of all time. Shout out to
Scorpion
Prince.
King on the way. Scorpion King Part 2.
Shout out to MJ. You know what I mean? With your transition, you made it possible for me even, you know what I'm saying, to leave corporate, to come back to Harlem and form Know the Ledge. And because of that unification, that was the first time, family, that me and Red was actually able to work on something long term. We created Know the Ledge in our 30s. And, you know, I'm sad to say that that was probably our first vehicle that we saw eye to eye on and didn't bump heads to the,
Legally.
we sabotaged it. You feel me? And this
That's how
album, this
that's how you
album,
knew that it was right. Cause all that other shit didn't work.
yeah, nothing else worked. Nothing else worked, right? It just didn't reach its full fruition. Oh yeah, shout out to, I got the good doc on too. You know what I'm saying? We in the
Shout out to
building.
the good doctor.
We in the building. I mean, you trending, homie. You
Yeah,
trending.
yeah, yeah.
Look,
Shout
shout
out to
out to Young
Dr. Sabi
Pharaoh. How about
trending all
that?
week. Yeah. Trending heavy in these streets.
Yeah, shout out to Young Pharaoh. I saw that video and I was appreciative of the message. You know what I'm saying? Even though at this point I want to I want to extend some sort of an olive branch to the family that, you know, has been they're taking great exception to being called conspiracy theorists. They're taking great exception that, you know, they feel let down by I didn't know that I was the captain of conspiracies. So
Apparently you are.
I'm the captain of, they like, nigga, we roll with you when you was talking about aliens. How dare you let us down? So I want a dialogue. You know what I mean? I want a dialogue with the family. There should be no reason why people are like at one another's throat when at the same time what you should want, like we should all want the same thing, which is justice for the brother. You know what I mean? Um, and some people want blood, whereas other people want to see the justice in terms of the edification of the name and a vow to complete the mission or do better in your own personal lives to set an example and become the Nipsey of your community. You know what I mean? It pulls on people different ways. You understand? But to do nothing is criminal. That's in vain. You dig what I'm saying? But you might be shitty cuz bloodline. So there's gonna be people that do nothing and that's their disposition. That's their personal disposition and where they belong. You feel me? So I could dig it all day long. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm open to receive information that I could say is going from speculative
to factual, actual factual. Take me from the realm of speculation into the realm of actual fact. You feel me? I've endured multiple conspiracy theories over my timeline. Some things came true, some things didn't. But what I know is there's a way to do this thing. And what a lot of people have confused is they're confusing decoding conspiracy theories and information that's been available. It's just that niggas wasn't looking for it. Like, there has to be, somebody has to define all of those things. When you decode a movie or you decode a situation or you unpack some shit, it's not the same thing of a conspiracy theory, okay? It's called conspiracy theory, and the theory is not fact. It's not proven. It's how you think. It's what you think and how you feel, your intuition. And conspiracy is one of the leading charges that has most of our Black men in the federal penitentiary. So I don't even like to say that word. Who are you conspiring with? It's a dangerous word, fam. Our teachers were intellects.
It is.
Our master teachers, hold on. When our master teachers broke down 9/11 and when they broke down Katrina, they didn't do it from a conspiracy theory aspect. They went into master teacher mode and put in about 11 hours, 5 hours, and 8 hours and taught us. Steve Coakley did not just, he didn't just say, yo, Martin Luther King was assassinated, and the way that the bullet hit, you know what I mean? It seemed that it was from a white supremacist. No, he unpacked that shit. He broke it down. He gave you a decoding that unlike any other. You know what I'm talking about? Like, he came with receipts. He came with receipts, and he turned conspiracy into reality because he outed Jesse Jackson.
Right. He came with receipts. He came with actual, field work to say, oh, look at the video. Look at it. Dick Gregory came. He came with receipts. He came with shit that you never seen that made you say, I gotta sit and take real stock of that. If you catch a nigga slipping, talk in a speech talking about we shot him and that's the smoking gun. Like, you know what I mean? I get it. The LAPD saying that Nipsey was assassinated, I could see where you could look into that, but he was assassinated. He was a leader. You know what I'm saying? Assassinations just don't happen by other.
But if he would have got murdered, people would have been like, yo, he got assassinated, bro. Why are you saying murdered? Look.
Yeah,
Look. I'm focusing on his greatness. I'm focusing on his message. I'm focusing on the fact that he said, ride for me. Give me a name. That nigga said, ride for me. Give me a name. Give me a Google address or something. Talk to me. Like, if Pet Detective and the rest of them are out there and they're gonna dig in, get us a name and an address or something. Like, don't just leave it open sourced. Because people don't know where to place their anger, Blue. People don't know where to place their frustration. People don't know where to place their fear right now. It's where do you ground all of this tension? Where do you ground all of this pain and this hurt that we're absorbing? How do you let it go? Because if we had something to bomb on, you know what I mean? If we had somewhere to direct all of this energy, we could hire you against some shit. That's the kind of energy that's being built up around his untimely demise, especially because intuitively, it feels like, some questions need to be answered. But it also feels like I'm witnessing something that I witnessed when my heart was hurting when XXXTentacion got his head blown off, shot in the neck. We went through a lot of mourning in that period. He was a precursor to this. He got murdered in his own city, the same way that Nip got murdered in his own city. Jimmy Wapo got murdered the same day in his own city. Chinks Drugs got murdered in his own city. Soldier Slim got murdered in his own city. Camouflage got murdered in his own city. Dex Osama got murdered in his own city. Freaky Ty got murdered in his own city. Right? Mac Dre. What is that? Young Greatness. Dollar. Shall I continue? Sack Chaser, YFN Sack Chaser, and other person got murdered in their own city. It's not isolated incident, family. You know, I just want to have a broader conversation. I don't want to be relegated to theory because I got some facts that I want to add on into the conversation. I got facts. So to entertain conspiracy when there's a whole, when you could unpack this shit so many ways, when there's multiple angles that we need to approach this thing, don't tell me how to eat my dinner. You feel me? Not you personally, but I'm saying if I decide that I want to, you know, we're going to take certain angles and be careful with this thing and not jump and not say things that we have to backtrack and retract. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people that got shit wrong and they haven't retracted anything. So I'm going to speak about what I know. Let's focus on that right now so his spirit could lift. I'm going to focus, I'm going to venerate him, I'm going to edify him, and I'm going to speak on what I know. And whenever the information reveals itself, because I know the power of our people, we could pull it, we could pull some shit that's buried up from the underground. This is the power of the mind at the end of the day. But I also know that we live in this post-Trump society where you could create some shit. Let me tell you, they say anything that you look for, you can find. Anything. The deeper that you look into JFK, nigga, you're gonna find what you're looking for. This is an alt reality, alt truth. This is some weird times that we live in right now, family. This is some weird times. This digital reality that we live in, social media 3.0, internet of all things, quantum, Mandela affected kind of reality is weird, bro. It's weird. They had the shit with the Google, but that's Backpage from AdSense. If anybody's into SEO and all of that, you know what the fuck that's about. I've seen plane crashes that were backdated, and I'm like, damn, they had that article 3 months ago. How did they know the plane was gonna crash? Just don't know. You might not know the internet like that. So, you know, where you at, Blue? You there?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
I had 2 guests lined up for this evening. They both had to postpone because of their travels. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm gonna have to, you know, and I had tomorrow lined up. That's my open slot on Fridays anyway. Family, I have a full presentation for you, but I need at least 2 hours. It's 12:45. And even though y'all be seeing me sit up here, go to 4 a.m. on the Tough Talks, I don't know if that's what I want to do tonight because I want to get this right. I want to do it one time. You know what I mean? And it's I'm not gonna say it's it is very detailed. It requires a lot of attention and it's a full-blown presentation. You know what I'm saying? It's not 444 decoded, it's 44.4 decoded. Be flipping it around, and I'm gonna show you the through way that ties in Jay-Z and Beyonce with Nipsey and Laura London. And of course, it's not just about that. Those are just two bookends on a conversation where in between, I'm going to decode the whole fucking universe for you if necessary. You know what I mean? If you know what you're listening to, God damn it, it's the cloth of all cloths. So I think that I'll probably come back tomorrow.
Hell yeah, I want you to be. I want you to have your hitters with you.
Yeah, I need my hitters because we're gonna put we're gonna put a lot of shit to rest. You feel me? So I need my hitters with me. And I
We
like,
getting them hitting tonight.
I like the rhythm of this conversation here. I don't gotta overdo it. You know what I'm saying? We could split this thing up. That's also the thing about the twinning. You gotta know when enough is enough because it's two people. The cell was so powerful that it split into two people. That's OD. Like,
Yeah,
son,
I don't want
the
to
same.
overload y'all.
I don't know if he was around when I told a story about the barbershop last week with the African sisters in
Yeah,
it.
I heard that.
So I go back in the barbershop today. I don't know if you could tell, right?
Not really.
So
Go ahead.
the barber's chopping me, you know what I mean?
Pause. Ooh, Tatiana.
I'm getting a fade, right? Shoot.
Ooh. Yeah.
I'm getting my hair cut, right?
I'm getting laced.
I'm getting laced, right? And they mentioned to the barber, they like, yo, oh, one of the African ladies was pregnant. She's like, yo, I hope you got twins.
Ooh.
Right? And they start the conversations like, yeah, you know, twins are special and shit. You know what I mean? I was like, son, you know I'm a twin though, right? He was like, what? It's like, shorty, you gotta show me that, shorty. Like I told you, my dude, he from the swamps, right?
Yeah.
He's like, ain't no two of you. You feel me? Now I had just got finished. They had put me on live. They had the hood in there. So I got into my dialogue because they was like, you was just in here last week talking about Nipsey Hussle. You feel me?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that about? And then I had the Sabi hoodie on. So they wanted me to tie it together. They didn't know who I was. So I went in and they put it on live. So the rest of the hood could see it. You know what I mean? So he had already seen me on the third trip going into some shit that he heard me talking about some shit that he never heard nobody else talking about, like I'm talking about it before. So they just mesmerized at the intellect. So he's like, yo, ain't no two, can't be no two of you. That's impossible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I pulled the shit up on the phone. First, I show him a picture of you singularly because I go to your site and you don't got a lot of pictures of us together, right? But I ain't in my
That's
family.
right.
Yeah. I'm just saying, yeah, it's your page, right? So I show him your shit singularly. He's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't really know. Like, that looked like you, but I can't really tell. I gotta see one of y'all side to side. So I go, right? Take me like 5 minutes to find one of me and you together. I'm like, boom, this shit right here. Son is like, oh shit, this nigga got a twin. What the fuck is going on? He went and showed all the African ladies. So again, like I said, they was already treating me totally different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Totally different based on the conversation from last week. And then I started talking about Sabi earlier. They didn't know who Sabi was, right?
Yeah.
Then I had to explain to them, like, yo, he probably pulled up on your country and got rejected by your president. You feel
Yeah.
me?
Right.
I had to explain the whole story about him going to all of the African dignitaries and the presidents and the prime ministers
Shut down.
and getting shut down and kicked out of their country.
But one of them who took them in though? One of the countries.
One of them
right?
countries. Yeah, it slips, but I'll dig in my notes and get it out. You know what I mean? So they was just like, oh, the twin, and they just started going into their whole diatribe. But remember, there's certain African countries where twins are omens.
Yeah, they omens. Yeah.
Like Mauritania or something like that. But they from Senegal. So the Senegal shit, they all with it. And that
Veggies.
shit is all with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, man. It was just real interesting. But they were saying all that to say, like, you can't put all that in one body. Like that shit got to be split into two, and it's still a hard concept for people to internalize. You know what I mean? You could. I got the shit blazoned across my chest with twin, big ass logo, and people are like, "Y'all twins?"
Yeah. Just like
That's
wearing
fucked
that
out.
shit.
I mean, I don't know. Like, it's just something that people can't fully internalize. I guess it's from the inside, looking out. You see it totally different than the outside looking in. People is like, nah, that's too.
Yeah, I guess so.
Be like, that's too much. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know what I mean.
You
I
got
want
any of
I
those
want to
double
dialogue
albums
with the
on you?
conspiracy theorists, but after tomorrow, they might be real upset with me because, like I said, y'all want to play Magnum PI? Let's go to detective work. You feel me? I'm gonna do the astro detective work.
I mean, that's all you really gotta do.
I'm gonna
I
do the
mean,
divination detective work.
give
I'm
him,
gonna consult the
give him the
ancestors.
esoterics,
Yeah,
man.
I'm gonna do what the priesthood
Give
do.
him, give him the decoding. Like I
Yeah.
said, there's a difference between conspiracy theory and decoding. Two completely different sciences. Alex Jones never decoded anything in his entire life. Okay, just to show you the difference between the two. Alex Jones has never decoded a goddamn thing in his natural life on TV, film, or radio. But what he has is he's expounded on multiple conspiracy theories like Sandy Hook and a whole bunch of other stuff. So that's the difference between a decoding and or somebody breaking some shit down and a conspiracy theory. I'm just giving you a small example. But focus on your energy, put your energy towards your lesson and, qualify what it is that you're breaking down and cook, my nigga. Do what you do. Do what you do. Like, don't ever get bogged down by something so mundane as that. You got people online talking about grown men or women. They're like, yo, that person was born a
Oh no,
woman.
that's a whole movement. Chill. Leave them alone.
There was a movement before where they was had people's ears and shit. And it was like, look, I could tell you that Danny Glover is really Eddie Murphy because of the ears. Like,
I remember I lost a close friend because he like, yo, your brother, man. I don't know what it, I was in LA. He's like, your brother, that's the red pill, right? I was like, yeah, why? He was like, yo, he was online talking crazy about us. You know, we do ear decoding. I was like,
I was real belligerent with them one time.
I was like, nigga, you do what? He was like, yeah, you know how niggas don't got the same fingerprint? Yeah, you could tell like because the nigga's ear, geography, topography. I was like, lose my number, my nigga. I'm cool. I'm Geechee. Like, I don't want to hear nothing about air analysis. Cool on that.
Yeah, like how do you even have time to get on some ear shit? Like, how did that conversation even start? Yo, my nigga, you wouldn't believe what happened. Yo, my nigga, I cracked the code on niggas' earlobe, son. It's the ears, son. Like, my mind is on, I'm entertaining so much other things. You feel me? So don't be offended.
But
I
look,
can't take everything
I did
on.
this on I did this on Tuesday. So I'm gonna do it here tonight, right? Just to show you one slide out of my presentation. You feel me? Just to get into one slide out of the presentation.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Just to show you that, we won't be tripping over here. When I tell you that everything is tethered, everything is connected, that there's no separation in my world, and the law 44 governs all motherfucking things and affairs. When I went to the divination systems, and we pulled the energy on this particular incident that happened on 331. We went to the I Ching, right? Because the I Ching don't lie, as you can attest to. Those three pennies, one of the most ancient systems, and it give you exactly what you need every time. So what does this one say? You want to read it? I'll let you read it.
Nah, I can't see that. You read that shit.
All right. $44 hexagram 44. Right? We asked I Ching, what was the governing energy on this Nipsey Hussle situation? The hexagram came back 44. Return of the dark force. In this kuah, the dark force returns suddenly and unexpectedly, no matter what its form, whether as a malicious or evil-minded person or as a temptation or an influence, it will in some way be a bad influence or cause harm. If the dark force is of a woman, she has great power, even though she appears gentle and weak. Be careful and do not ally or associate with her in any way, however unthreatening and alluring she appears. She will use her harmless appearance to tempt you into dropping your defense so she can seize control of the situation and cause you great harm. You know what I mean? And this is interesting because there is, I think Samana should be in the chat with us. She did a reading as well the same day, and her thing came back alluding to a woman. You feel me? And then when Aquarius did the reading, her reading came back alluding to a woman. You know what I'm saying? But the moon is in Pisces right now. So a lot of things are in secret. All right. But the shit is going to go into Aries and open up, and it's going to be a torrent of information that's going to come forth. You understand?
Yeah. Wow.
So,
Yeah, Doe B, Rise in Power. Big L, Rise in Power. Lil Snoop, Rise in Power. Jam Master J, Rise in Power. Doe B was T.I.'s artist. Bankroll Fresh, Rise in Power. Right? A lot of, I mean, is that, did the military take everybody out? I mean, are we late to the party? Or are we going to collectively say that these black men, these rappers or these MCs, you know, because they didn't own businesses and because they were not proactive in their hoods and whatnot, and because they did not measure up to a Nipsey Hussle's social entrepreneurship or social status, then, you know, they weren't even, it wasn't even the government, it wasn't even two things. It's not even worth the government killing them. And if the government killed them, it's not even worth our attention to get into the conspiracy and dig deep and to completely pierce the veils on all of those murders. This is a lot of murders, bro. You know? But like I said,
yeah, I got bars, bro. When I say I got bars for this one,
oh no, we're gonna be
I'm
front and center.
tomorrow.
We're gonna
Don't
be
take
front
it
and center
personal, y'all,
tomorrow.
because I'm gonna bait my haters in. I'm gonna pull them in, and I'm gonna drop a bomb on them tomorrow. So this is not personal. This is to redirect the conversation towards activation, towards the active principle of seeing who's the real soldiers, you know what I'm saying? Or who's the fucking trollers. That's it. We don't have no time for that. You dig what I'm saying? So, you know, 72 hours is up. I'm rolling up my sleeves and we're gonna get it in. You feel me? We're gonna get it in.
Yes.
Get it the motherfucking
I look forward to that.
Right? We're gonna qualify deific messianic energy in a day and time when people, for whatever reason, cannot see the God in themselves, let alone somebody else. You understand? And we're gonna sort Judases out. Because these
we
niggas is
need
trying
that.
to deflect. It's like almost like it's the devil's work. trying to fucking hide your hidden hand and push the attention somewhere else. When day one, it's about us. You niggas was just saying that last week.
Us. My thing is this. When are
Hold
we
on, son.
going
I seen a million fucking decodeds, my nigga. I seen a million decodeds, right? But the shit jumps off the screen and everybody's running and hiding now, right? Everybody got blindfold. They bird boxing. They can't look at it. You're gonna have to look at this shit in his face. You're gonna have to deal with this.
Yep, you gotta look at it right in his face.
You feel me? Because my thing is this: mental illness and psychosis allows anybody and anything to be susceptible. So the only way that you can thwart infiltration in organizations is by dealing with the core issues. That's why I salute the Nation of Islam for dealing with motherfucking Order 10. How about that? And clearing. How about that?
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to deal with the mental illness in our community. We have to deal with the psychosis in our community. So the very thing that Sabi was talking out against, which was bad diet, bad environment, bad disposition, bad energy, all of these things created the environment to create the individual that ultimately will kill Nip. So again, they're tethered in their mission, in their lives, right? Because the
That's
things
right.
that Sabi spoke about is the maladies that manifested to take this young man out. But people want to look at the conspiracy in it without looking at the malady that manifested it. The marathon continues. You feel me? So what's the sense of even pointing fingers if you're not going to make an effort to deal with the shit, even in your direct circumference or personally within yourself, right? Because these are the same niggas who last month was saying, oh, nah, you know what I'm saying? As long as she's motherfucking bleeding, she's susceptible to get beat, whether she's 13 or 14 or whatever. I'll put a seed in her. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to bust that apple open. You know what I mean? Y'all tripping over R. Kelly, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm running down on these little ones. Fuck them. That was the conversation the niggas was having in public. In public. Mental illness is real. Psychosis is real. Niggas' lack of love and empathy is real.
No, it's
It's
real,
a
real.
thing.
It's really real. It's for real. But yeah, bro, you know, there's some things that I would love to touch on, but I'm gonna save it.
What's that in my window, nigga? Nigga, that's Tut, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? What's that in my window? Hold
I
on.
want to there's for the family that's in Connecticut, I want to make an announcement real quick. I'm gonna be on a program called the Moving Target. Saturday morning. It's broadcast to 500,000 people, FM radio in Connecticut. I think it's 89.3. I gotta double check. But if you're in the Connecticut area, just dial your FM.
Serpentine. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Like 9 in the morning. I have a 2-hour special.
2 hours.
Yeah, they opened up 2 hours. The last time that we were on the show, the PD, the program director, was so impressed that they want us to talk about and this was they booked this before the murder or the assassination of Nip neighborhood. So I'm gonna have a good lesson to share with the people on that radio station in the morning. We'll make sure we tape it and upload it to the YouTube page. If you're not subscribed to this page, if you haven't hit the notification, do that, because when Blue Pill does his lecture tomorrow, you're gonna want to be notified. You're gonna want to be there live. It's not a paid event. It's gonna be a live stream event right from the Zoom. So make sure you hit the notification bell, and so you'll be aware of when the brother goes up. You know what I'm talking about? And on Sunday, I'll be in the DMV area, like I said, at the Ebenezer, at the it's not the Ebenezer. What's the name of this church where we do our lectures at in Baltimore? Do you remember the name of the church we usually do our lectures at?
Damn.
You know I gotta go to that soul food restaurant, right?
Yeah, it's on the edge of my head. Pause.
Pleasant Hope.
Pleasant Hope.
Pleasant Hope Church. The Pleasant Hope Church on Sunday from 3 to 6. Be More. Reality Speaks Productions. Brother Jabari, you already, if you from DMV, Baltimore, you know who that is. You know what I'm talking about. Pull up if you want any Kings County. We got a special edition of the Victory Lap. Lady one-piece suits. I got 5 of them with the checkerboard. Fire.
Word.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking
Marathon
about?
shit.
Ladies, you gotta be able to fill it out, huh?
What's that, marathon?
Yeah, marathon.
Yeah.
Bodysuits.
They wanted me to hold the tut up. Yeah, this the tut.
Yeah,
It's
lapis.
in my window. I keep the tut behind me.
Lapis. Lapis.
Blue
Yeah,
shit.
Stone Love. This is Stone Love, y'all. Stone Love.
Yeah. I keep them crystals on me at all times.
Hold on.
Red and blue, purple, like.
Bro, that's not a crystal. This is a crystal.
That's cool.
I already made the declaration. We're only doing clusters, my G.
Mount Shasta serpentine.
Yeah.
No?
We only doing clusters and above.
Cool. I got clusters too. This is just on my windowsill. This is shit that just gets charged on the daily. You know,
right.
Olukun from the bottom of the ocean. I bring some pieces back, coral reefs and all of that from the Virgin Islands. Just reminders.
Yeah. Shout out Sister Samaya. I'm gonna spray the stones with the chakra sprays.
Yes.
Make sure they get charged up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, crystals and pistols.
Huh?
Crystals and pistols.
Crystals and pistols.
This is the
shout out to Derek Grace. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with the situation with grace and favor. I seen some of his posts.
Yeah, he's going through it, and
he made a point. The people who know Nip, who love Nip, ain't nobody on that other shit. You know, ain't nobody posting on that weirdo shit. But like I said, I'm not gonna talk. I ain't gonna talk about nobody tonight. Talk about nobody tonight.
I seen it happen with Sabi. I just don't want it to continue to happen, Blue. I seen a vulture swoop in before his body was warm. And they, you know, people have manipulated certain situations, you know what I'm saying, to benefit them.
They let the real killers off. They let the real killers off by the distraction and the insinuations and running with the BS. And then fraudulent members in this community, they try to capture and control the narrative to set up an escape for themselves when something happened to them that they really fucking deserved, that their karmic debt bought them, that they bought wholesale with karmic debt. Then the people gonna scream conspiracy. That's all that's about.
Yeah. Shit crazy. But look, I'm ready to tap out. I got things to take care of. I got, I've been in the gym, so brother gotta rest. I gotta rest my vessel, you know. But we'll be back tomorrow with Blue Pill. We'll be back Melanin Mondays. Inshallah.
Yeah, it's Friday evening. I know that y'all might even have plans. I don't even know if it's gonna be that late. I might get it in like 9 or 10. You know what I'm saying? At a decent time. So we can have enough leverage to lay out what we gotta lay out once and for all. We're gonna break this shit down. We're gonna do the knowledge. You know what I mean? We're gonna go all the way up and we're just gonna leave it there and let it do what it do in the spirit of the great ones, for the greats. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And yeah, that's the best way to get back at them.
That's right. Are we doing cash apps, family out there? Are we doing cash apps tonight? The cash app is money sign Phil Moreland, PhilMoreland. You know, I appreciate everybody who definitely has sent the cash apps since while the show's been going. I'm on my phone, so I can't even pull up your names without disconnecting the stream. But I'll be able to. I'll give you everyone their shout outs on Monday. All right, on Melanin Monday, I'll do all of the Cash App shout outs. But I definitely appreciate all of the support, love and light to everybody who are collectively showing support for the cloth, for the information, for the jewels, for the perspective, for the narrative. We are coming to Connecticut. Sister Samaya, I'm going to do a radio show on the phone on Saturday morning. We're setting up a date for the Connecticut postponement that we had in New Haven. I will be able to get you a date ASAP, very soon. What I do know is I'll be in the DMV area in Baltimore Sunday from 3 to 6. So if anybody's in that area, come and shop with us, come and chop it up with us, and come and get some of this merch, okay? Because it doesn't do me any good having all of this stuff. You need some of it. Well, I want to end it with the fact that whoever made the poor decision or the asinine, backwards decision to take our brother's life, when they were doing that, the intentions that they had were to diminish his light and to ridicule him and to make him, lesser than he was. But whoever did it, the conspiracy should be who's the fucking fool out there that turned this man into an immortal. Because whatever their intentions was, it backfired. Whether it was shitty cuz trying to, I'm going to take him up out of here and teach him a lesson and show him. He only made him that much more powerful, and it's going to haunt him until he leaves this planet. And if it was the government or many co-conspirators, because I'm always, we know that co-conspirators, people work together to take down great people. So all of the co-conspirators made one of the biggest mistakes of their career. You feel me? Because he's going to multiply. Real G's don't die. They only die once. You feel me? So he said, ride for me. That's what we will intend. That's what we're going to do. We were doing that prior to his demise. We already heard the call. So Facts 2020, the initiative that we will be introducing to the family on many, many more occasions. The summertime, we're going to move around the 50 states to speak to my brothers and sisters, especially my ADOS brothers and sisters, about the better tomorrow, the future that's in front of us. You know what I mean? What it is that, this 400-year spell means and what it means to end and what tomorrow represents. The dreamers amongst us, the visionaries amongst us, the nips, the hustle and motivators amongst us.
The Idrises, right?
The Idrises amongst us. Like he said, we come from neighborhoods where we don't have a platform to explain our intelligence, but now we've built that and we're going to edify that. And I'm going to just say another thing. The whole of hip hop knows who Dr. Sebi is right now.
Facts.
Everybody that's not even in hip hop, they know about Sebi. That name or that persona is also becoming immortalized a whole nother time around. His big dance is coming up. So this is a wonderful time. You understand? There's spiritual powers that are now with us, that are protecting us, that are in the ancestor realm, that could read the intentions of your heart just based off of the light that you're emitting or the frequency that you're giving off. It's easier for the spirits or the spirit realm to utilize the art of discernment with humans, which would be seen as the pigs of, you know, of the universe. And that's no offense to pigs. But this physical body, this husk that we're in, this avatar with all of these desires and this dual nature, and this demon that lives in our bowels or our abdomen, you understand, with the monkey brain and the reptilian and all of that stuff, you know, your divine spark is what we're talking to. Your spirit is what we're talking to. The infinite, not the finite, the infinite part of you is what we're talking to. You understand? And we're saying that you are not only electric, your melanin is not only electric, you're not only an electrified electric being who could power technology. That's a whole nother show. We got to get KT. I would look at myself in the mirror like Red was looking back at Lapita. I wouldn't even be feeling myself if I looked at myself and did something without KT on board to break that down. Because that's his lane. He's been telling us that for a very long time, and he demonstrated it. But now European science has come around, and they've even admitted that we are electric beings.
KT is a fucking genius. KT is a legend. I just heard some shit earlier from these certified doctors, son. I'm talking about when I say word for word with him and Inky be talking on,
Yeah.
bruh. And these people is in bunkers giving this information out from across the world, damn near. They got up out of Dodge just to talk like that. They was in the mix, you know what I'm saying? They learned the truth and they broke away. And now they telling the truth from a distance. They're writing books and all of that shit about it. But son of them,
Facts.
all the way, because they've been saying this shit for years. You know what I mean?
Hold on.
And they broke these, they figured this out on their own. You know,
That's
of
right.
course, picking up where Sabi left off. So I want to shout them out. You know what I mean? I seen Inky was just on Hot 97. You know what I mean? That's major. Haha Davis. You know what I mean? Shout out to that brother for getting the information out on a larger platform. The marathon continues.
Oh, he shouted out Inky.
I don't know whether he shouted out KT. I'm just saying he was up there and Inky was up there on his own doing his thing. Haha Davis got him in the building.
Oh, Inky was on Hot 97?
Yeah. Yeah, with Ebro and them. Is shit bugged out.
Wait, hold on. I got a special call. Wait. Hello? You pay now. What? You pay now. It's the year of the pig. What's wrong with you for Red Pill? Okay, I'll correct it. Bye. Family, it's the year of the pig. Not the rat. Motherfucker, some young guy had to straighten me out, kid. But nevertheless, a pig is a rat. You know what I mean?
Pig, cat, and a rat. Right? That's the lessons. They said that's how the pink toe was made. That's how the peckaboo was made.
Thanks. So yeah, you know, it's been fun. I enjoyed myself tonight. You know, hopefully the information that we disseminated and shared, y'all able to take that and, you know, do some stuff with it. You feel me? Or to add on, I encourage everyone to add on, like go and do the research about LA and Las Vegas being the bottom of the ocean. Go and look at American Gods.
Go look up Olukun.
Season 2. Huh?
Go look up Olukun.
Yeah, go ahead and check out that.
Let me drop some links for them in the chat just in case they don't know the pronunciation or, you know, anything else like that. Right? I want y'all to know this more so than not know it. So I'm gonna help you. This is an interesting, exciting way to peel back the layers and look at the world. You know what I'm saying? Why not take a mystical approach?
You know what hurts me the most, Blue?
What would that be?
That I didn't go in the marathon store when I had the chance. And then when I found out he was in New York a few months ago, I put it to the side and was like, you know what? I'm gonna catch up with the God at another time. So for the family that's out there that, you know, you see people amongst you who are doing great things and they moving with a certain kind of force. And it's like I talked about earlier, like you're not gonna be able to run niggas credit until it's all over, until we put a date on it. And then the credit gets run and the receipts get added up. And then the God, the sainthood comes out. And you like, damn, I wish I would have met son. I wish I would have came to son's event. I wish I would have pulled up and got son's album signed by him when I had the chance. And that's not to sound spooky because a lot of people are freshly out the church. I'm talking about Godhood right here. I'm talking about being able to understand this life that we're living and why we're living it, and the decisions that you make in the now, because tomorrow's not promised and yesterday didn't exist. You got legends amongst you, family. Y'all got, and I'm not being self-aggrandizing. I'm not just talking about me turning looking in the mirror, nigga. I'm talking about there's a pantheon of legends amongst you. Get amongst them. Take, immortalize yourself, because it might sound far-fetched, but it's a whole bunch of people who wish they would have took a picture with Nipsey when they ran into him. Who wish they would have got that album signed when they were like, you know what? I'll just catch him the next time. I'm not gonna go to his album release party or his album signing party at the CD store right down the block from me. Like, focus on the greats. I don't think enough people was focusing on Nipsey while he was here. You understand? Not for the things that have spilled out that he was doing. The fanfare and the support should have been pouring in the minute those articles were coming out about what the fuck he was doing in his hood. Not just in his hood, the moves that he was making on a global level, from the CBD, from the strain that he had in his name, from the cryptocurrency, from the blockchain, from the smart store, from the STEM thing, all of these things, from that $1 billion train line in Crenshaw.
Yeah, the Crenshaw Museum, historic. He's the only one sitting on the board that looks like us.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let me not forget 20 books for $20 on the eWay. You know what I'm talking about? Hit me on the Cash app and leave your email with a Dubbington, and I'll send you 20 ebooks, either business or metaphysics.
Yeah.
You know, let me know how you want your hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
it's
you
called
get
Destination Crenshaw .LA if you want to look it up, family. 1.3 miles of art and culture celebrating Black LA. All right. He was sitting on the board for Destination Crenshaw. Okay. This is major. Look this up. If the family does not understand what's taking place, they are running the Metro Railroad, the train down Crenshaw, all the way down to SpaceX. They're running it through Crenshaw, through the hood. This is a multi-billion-dollar effort that's being done as we speak right now on Crenshaw Boulevard. It is going to regentrify the entire neighborhood. And when we say neighborhoods, we're not talking about 5 and 10 block radiuses. We're speaking about for a few miles. And Crenshaw and Slauson and the property he bought positioned him to be a major player in that area for the next 5 and 10 years when they change the face of what the area is going to look like. Because they have the permits now where everything is building up in LA. They're going up.
That's right.
What you know about LA has been historically somewhat of a flat city. Downtown, they go up. You know what I'm saying? Them hills go up, but they don't build tall buildings in LA. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be doing that now.
Mm. Yeah,
So
interesting.
it is you know, it was an honor for him to be included in this particular
Endeavor.
endeavor. It was
Shout out to
historic.
Big Teach.
Oh, shout out to Big Teach. I seen him with Richard Branson.
Yeah, one of my day ones.
Yeah, my day one.
They
So
opened up
the
something in
restaurant.
Miami called a Highline, I believe it is, the train
Yeah,
station, a multi-billion-dollar train station, and Richard Branson done linked up with my dude Big Teach from the House of
right.
Mac. So that's a great look, you know what I
Major.
mean?
Yes.
Major look. Like that's
Major,
when
major.
cultures collide, you know what I'm saying? You know. So yeah, I spoke to Poop Man
Yeah.
too.
That's the nip of my, you know, in his own way. Like we're gonna start
Yeah, he on
identifying
his
and
nip. Yeah.
designating them, like who are the ones who defied the odds, who are the ones that came out of the mud, who are the ones that came from the ashes. He came from 10 years up north for a shooting and, you know, became Pitbull's manager. You know what I'm saying? Went all around the world with homie, cemented his whole career, turned around and opened up his restaurant. Well, his food truck first, hustled his food truck into a restaurant in the Wynwood area. Now hustled up a second restaurant in this $1 billion revitalized zone. You feel me? All from the muscle.
Hustle and motivate.
Hustle
Young
and
nigga, young
motivate.
nigga. Young nigga.
You know what I mean? So you spoke to Poop Man. Shout out to Poop
Yeah,
Man.
I
Shout
gotta
out
go
to
listen
Duck.
to some Nip. I'm having Nip withdrawal,
Shout out to
family. I'm getting
Conflict.
weak. Let me go.
All right.
I need some Nip in my vein. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we gonna get up, y'all. All right.
All right.
Love and light.
Love and light. Peace, love and light, y'all. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow on a Friday. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so you get the notification. We are going to take it into a whole nother arena tomorrow with this deep decoding, this deep dive decoding that we finna do. All right. Peace, love, and light. Cheers.